Hello there, my friend, and how are you today? Welcome to the Disney Travel Secret Show. Rob and Kerri Stuart here, coming to you from the CMV studio in Orlando, Florida. You're listening to episode number 432, original air date May 26, 2025.
So happy Memorial Day to you, and also congrats if you have the day off. Lucky you.
So we're in Alaska doing the land and tour portion of Cruising with Royal Caribbean as this show airs.
Yeah, and we are so excited to share more about that on our other podcast, Travel Inspired. But this week, we are talking about a great place to hang out on your non-park day at Disney, or maybe even later in the day after you go to the park, or for a lot of you, your arrival or departure day, and that is Disney Springs.
We're also going to tell you about the two best resorts to stay at and the best way to get to Disney Springs from those two resorts specifically. Plus, we've stayed at both of them multiple times.
Hello, my friends. This is former Disney Imagineer Hugh Darley, and you're listening to Disney Travel Secrets with my friends Rob and Kerri Stuart. As you can imagine, I have plenty of Disney secrets myself, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's get this show on the road. Take it away, guys.
So this is one of those shows that we're recording well in advance because of our travel schedule. So
yeah, we do have a lot going on, but we did record this on May 15th. So if anything happened between that date and May 26th, it is not going to be on this show.
We do not know it. We honor and salute you.
We also want to help military families, and we do this through our CMV Heroes project. To learn more about that, or if you're interested in starting a career as a travel advisor, please go to cmvheroesproject.com to learn more, or to support our program by purchasing a hat or a shirt that benefits Folds of Honor.
As we mentioned on our last show, we did get to spend some time with Hugh Darley when he was in town last week.
And he is just a fascinating guy to talk to. So many amazing stories, and we are very much looking forward to our new pickleball company concept with Hugh and also a friend of ours, Ray.
More on that to come, including a very cool name that we came up with, but now we can't use it for a number of reasons. So I'm glad we didn't tell you yet what that name was.
Well, you got to get the legal things down.
I know. I'm like, let's look at the domain name. We always look at the domain name first when we're doing a company and it was available.
We've learned to consult the attorneys.
Yes, when that, I just spent some time with our attorney today. The interesting thing is that we met both of them, both Hugh and Ray, because of traveling. So we met Hugh in October of 2023 at that event at Disney we talked about, and Ray and his wife, Michelle, on a Thanksgiving cruise on Silver Sea, which was amazing.
Yeah, and so it was funny, we were talking about this, and we were like, you know what? We just met them a month apart.
I did not know that either. I was like, wait a minute, we met them here? Anyway, very cool.
No, it's fun to meet people when you're traveling. And Hugh has some really cool stories that he shared throughout his career, not just Disney, but and beyond. And one of the lessons I learned from him was to always be fearless and always be creating.
Well, to this day, he is still designing, creating, sharing stories. And while we don't normally have guests on this show, we're going to definitely get Hugh on this show in the future.
So on to this week's show. Most, if not all of you, know about Disney Springs. And for the most part, it's like a stop you make for just maybe some shopping and food. But it is much more than that. So we thought it would be fun to give you some tips on what to do there. And hopefully you will learn a few new things.
I think it's funny because I think they will learn new things. Every time we're doing research for a show, it doesn't matter what the topic is, I'm always learning. So we want to thank you for, keeping us on our toes. We normally go to Disney Springs at least once a month if we're in town, and normally it's on a Sunday morning, and so we'll go see a movie and then go next door. It's the same thing every time. Sushi at Splitsville.
And this is something that we've also been doing since we moved here, which pretty much makes us regulars at Splitsville.
And we know that just about every time that we do that on a Sunday, our friend Tara will be bartending at the outside bar.
And she is absolutely amazing. If you go there and she's working, tell her Rob and Kerri sent her. Okay, so let's get into more info about Disney Springs.
Yes, if you are like us though, get out and explore Disney Springs. Don't go to the same places every time.
I know, we need to do that ourselves.
We need to diversify. There are a lot of reasons to enjoy all the areas, and yes, even the theming that not only you've probably never noticed, I know I didn't.
So if you aren't familiar with the Springs, here are some key things to know. First of all, it is free admission and free parking. So unlike the theme parks, Disney Springs requires no admission ticket, and they have standard parking in 4 garages. You got lime, orange, grapefruit, and one nobody ever talks about. It's strawberry.
I didn't know where strawberry is.
Strawberry
is
the surface parking.
Got it.
Yeah, but it is completely free to park there.
Now, also keep in mind, you will be going through security at Disney, which pretty much happens everywhere. But the cool part of parking there is, well, sometimes it can be a nightmare in the garages. They use smart technology that displays available parking spaces with green lights, making finding a spot there so much easier. Plus, if you're going to be driving to either orange or green, there are signs by the entrance right as you pull in to show you how many spaces are open, also what level they're on, and that is very handy for sure.
Yeah, and our pro tip here is if you know what shops or restaurants you are going to visit, plan your parking to be in the closest garage. There is a reason Lime is always super busy. It's very central, but sometimes the surface parking by Cirque Strawberry can be a little bit better if you're going to be on that end.
I would say avoid grapefruit if you can. It's far.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about some new food spots, and maybe it'll make you make your pick around a type of food. Most people know about the places like the Boathouse and Homecoming because they get lots of attention, but there are also other amazing places. We love Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar because of its Indiana Jones theming, and we love Halea for their amazing menu with small bites.
Yeah, and there are some hidden spots. So there's Eats, that's the Indian food restaurant that's on the far east side.
Far East?
But that's kind of funny. But one thing many people don't know is how many quick service restaurants you can find all over Disney Springs. There are even quick service for some spots that have like a sit-down restaurant. Then they'll have like their little window. So you have that for like Emerald's restaurant. Haleo has a quick service. There are several that are like that.
Right, and these are good if you're just looking for something quick, but you want something savory. But lots of tiny home-type places.
Yeah, there are. There's like little clusters of little homes in certain places.
And there are several that have patios. For the sports fans, City Works is where you want to be to catch a game. It doesn't matter what the sport is.
And Disney Springs has more than just food and shopping at World of Disney. I know everybody goes there. But did you know there is complimentary live entertainment throughout Disney Springs? You got the Marketplace stage, Waterview Park, and also various walkway performers that they just kind of roam around like that. The mobile piano player we've seen.
That's not there that often, so when you do see that, get some pictures of video because it's really cool. And also, we know there's a friend of ours that plays in a band, and he sometimes plays over in that little area over by Boathouse. He also plays for the band that does the Canada music stage over at Epcot Showcase.
Yeah, lots of good performers there, and it's free entertainment. Super fun.
Something we have never done, but you guys should probably try, is the amphicars at Boathouse, or something we keep saying we're going to do and we never have, is to go up in that giant balloon. That'll give you the best view of Disney you can possibly have.
Yep. Now, on the east side, there is a kids' play area and a little mini carousel. So if you are looking for activities, just open up the app and search around. And if you're willing to buy a ticket, there are concerts at the House of Blues often.
They do have some really good bands that play there, I will say.
Yeah, and then of course you have Drawn to Life by Cirque du Soleil. So if you want to buy a ticket, plus up your evening, I would do that.
Well, you know what? Speaking of Cirque, stay tuned to the end of the show to hear about a special offer we have just for you, our listener. Here's something we did not know. This one shocked me. There is a carefully designed, like an architectural timeline as you go through Disney Springs. So the town center itself represents Florida in the early 1900s. The landing really depicts the 1920s industrial area. Marketplace showcases the 1930s waterfront, and West Side represents the 1950s Expo Center. Very cool, and I can't believe we've been going there so often. And I didn't know. So you're welcome, because now you are one of the less than 1% of Disney fans across the world who know this.
But it's cool, though, when you're walking around. But let's talk about shopping.
Really? Of course. Of course we give that segment to Kerri.
Of course. No, but while Disney Springs is known for luxury shopping, there are some budget-friendly spaces that you can go. And so you have like Disney Days of Christmas store. It's on the way east end. They'll have holiday ornaments more than you can imagine. And oftentimes you can get them at a discount. There are also going to be good sales in some of just the regular stores for like your basic t-shirts and also some clothing.
I remember going to the Columbia store. They had some really great sales for both shoes and shirts, if I remember correctly. Don't think everything there is going to be expensive.
Yeah, definitely pop in. But on the other end, there are some really nice and expensive shops too.
Of course there are.
But one of the most popular and always crowded is Sephora. So you are going to get a mix of basic stores and like your regular big brands with some that are a little bit different. But just like the restaurants, expect a Disney bump in pricing in most cases.
Okay, that is true. Now, if you are staying at a Disney resort, there will be a bus that goes from your resort to Disney Springs, but they don't start until Disney Springs opens. So you're not going to rope drop, a bus ride from your hotel. Disney Springs does have to be open.
Yep. And some resorts also have boats. So those are Port Orleans, Saratoga Springs, and Old Key West.
Well, and you can also walk to Disney Springs, I'd say specifically from Saratoga. And there's also a bridge that goes over the road from Hotel Row, but those hotels are further than they look though. So especially in the heat, because that walkway that goes over the street is not shaded.
So when is the best time to visit where it isn't going to be super crowded? Weekends are always busy. You have locals, and also the people arriving or departing are often there.
We recommend, if you want to really enjoy the Springs, go on a weekday and try to get there before noon. Most of the restaurants open at 11. And some of the shops even earlier.
Yeah, so if you do want to save some money and enjoy like a happy hour pricing, there are some places. So check out Terralina, CityWorks, Raglan Road sometimes, and Jock Lindsay's, because yes, they do offer happy hour specials.
As we mentioned earlier, there really are two of the best Disney resorts to stay at for Springs, and that is Saratoga Springs and Old Key West.
Now, because these are DVC properties, there is a good chance if you are staying at one of those two resorts, that you have been to Disney multiple times.
Yeah, I would agree.
And so you probably enjoy a slower paced vacation with plans to shop and dine.
We like Saratoga Springs if we're going to plan on going to Disney Springs more than once on a trip because of the walking path that they have. I remember 5 years ago, right before, this was March of 2020, before everything shut down, our friend Courtney got married over at the...
Paddlefish.
Paddlefish. And I was calling her to say, I'm looking forward to seeing you. She goes, don't tell me you're calling to cancel. I'm like, no, we're going. She goes, good. I need your help because a lot of people are canceling. We have a very big bar tab minimum. I'm like, we got you. And I remember we walked over, we stayed in Congress Park actually, and just walked over. It's a very quick walk back. But again, our pro tip is the Congress Park section is the closest, like I just mentioned. It's only maybe a 5 or 10 minute stroll across the pedestrian bridge, and it goes directly into the marketplace section of Disney Springs. Now, you will pay a preferred rate if you want to stay in Congress Park. To me, it's worth it.
And keep in mind that after a night at Disney Springs, you're enjoying dinner, entertainment. If you're staying at Saratoga, you can easily walk back to your room, but you get to avoid those long bus waiting lines that can happen when Disney is closing.
Now, if you don't want to walk to Saratoga Springs, they do offer boat transportation, both from the resort itself over to Disney Springs. It's a nice little scenic cruise along the Sassagoula River.
Now, Old Key West is the other resort that has quick boat transportation. So it's only about a 10 to 15 minute ride. Port Orleans resorts are going to be more in that 25 to 35 minutes.
They're a little bit farther out, yeah. So right now, at least the last time we checked, the boats are all dropping off on the far east end. They used to drop off more over kind of in the middle on the other side of Jock Lindsay's. That hasn't started back up, but I do like that drop-off location way better.
Yeah, but because it is a short boat ride, if you are staying at Old Key West, Disney Springs becomes a really good option for your meals. And that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
If you do have a trip coming up, spend some time on the app. Check out the shops that maybe you didn't know about. Go to the House of Blues Orlando site and see if there's a concert you might want to see. Again, a great place to see concerts.
Yeah, and we've seen some crazy lines waiting to get into those concerts. They are popular.
So is a Disney Springs visit on your list or on your radar? Are you doing a pre-cruise stay for a night or two and need something to do on your arrival date? Check it out.
And if you are having trouble getting a dining reservation for one of the restaurants, always try Open Table 2. Sometimes you have better luck there.
Exactly. And if you've made it this far to the end, which of course you have if you can hear my voice, or if you see me wave at you, hi, I'm Rob over here. We're offering our listeners tickets to the Shirk Drawn to Life show at a special 20% discounted rate.
Yeah. So to get them, you have to order them through us or one of our Creating Magic Vacations travel agents. This is a great way to plus up your vacation. So there is a link in the show description. Fill that out and we will be in touch.
That show is it's amazing. And we actually did a behind the scenes tour. We've seen the show a couple times and we sat at different places. And I'm telling you, this is a show you can see multiple times and you're always going to pick up something new. So we cannot recommend this show enough.
Yep.
Until next time, thanks for listening. Have a magical day.
We hope to see you real soon.